Certainly, the biggest tipping points are the super eruptions of the volcanoes at Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park is renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and geothermal features. Beneath its beauty lies one of the most powerful volcanic systems on Earth, the Yellowstone supervolcano. You just need to be patient and wait more than 600,000 years after the previous eruption. However, that does not stop Homo sapiens from exaggerating the likelihood of another near term Yellowstone volcanic explosion in the next couple of years. Let's talk about a number of popular searches for Yellowstone on YouTube. The big search topic for Yellowstone is the imminent explosion of the supervolcano. Here are a few of the clickbait titles. What if Yellowstone volcano erupted tomorrow? 5 million views. What happens if Yellowstone blows up tomorrow? 13 million views. What happens if the Yellowstone volcano erupts? 2.4 million. What happens if a supervolcano erupts? The Yellowstone supervolcano, 5.5 million. Why are scientists more afraid of Yellowstone than asteroids? 919,000. Yellowstone, big volcano ready to erupt, 5.7 million. Many of you are aware of Neil deGrasse Tyson, who operates the Star Talk video, which broadcasts the following Yellowstone video. Will Yellowstone supervolcano erupt? 583,000. To Neil's credit, he interviewed volcanologist Janine Krippner, who quickly noted at the beginning of her interview that Yellowstone supervolcano was not going to erupt in the near future. However, these types of clickbait stories do scare people. Many Homo sapiens are prone to believe these clickbait titles. Homo sapiens tend to either overestimate or underestimate the likelihood of a tipping point because of their bias and lack of my knowledge. In contrast, my video will be lucky to be seen by 1,000 people. The hotspot has not been moving, but what has been moving is the continental drift moving from east to west. Approximately 16.5 million years ago, the hotspot was located along the border of what is currently called Oregon and Idaho. Over the next 15 million years, the hotspot drifted across what we now refer to as the Snake River Valley in southern Idaho. Our reference point for the big Yellowstone volcanic explosion is Mount St. Helens, which exploded on May 18th, 1980, after a series of minor earthquakes and steam explosions. If you look at these exhibits displayed at the Canyon Visitor Center in Yellowstone, you'll see a small cube on the left-hand side that represents the amount of ash produced by Mount St. Helens on the left-hand side. Over 2 million years ago, this volcanic hotspot over Yellowstone produced three massive eruptions, each leaving a significant mark on the North American continent and offering insight into the power and complexity of Earth's interior processes. The first and largest of these eruptions occurred approximately 2.1 million years ago and is known as the Huckleberry Rift Tiff eruption, which you can see in the back. This big gray box of cubes directly to the right is entitled Huckleberry Ridge Tuft Eruptions. This cataclysmic event ejected around 2,500 cubic kilometers of volcanic material, enough to bury the entire state of California under several meters of ash. The eruption was centered in what is now Island Park, Idaho, and formed a massive caldera roughly 75 kilometers wide. The second eruption took place around 1.3 million years ago and is known as the Mesa Falls Tuff Eruption, which is entitled the Henry's Fork Caldera Eruption in this photo. However, though significantly smaller than the first event, it was still a super eruption by geologic standards, ejecting around 280 cubic kilometers. The third and most recent eruption occurred approximately 640,000 years ago and is known as the Lava Creek Tuff Eruption, although listed as Yellowstone caldera eruption in the back on the far right. This event expelled about 1,000 cubic meters of volcanic debris, leading to the formation of present-day Yellowstone caldera, which measures about 75 by 45 kilometers. The Canyon Visitor Center has an extensive set of exhibits about the volcanic activity, not just in Yellowstone, but also around the world. This particular exhibit shows a 3D exhibit of the park. Yellowstone Lake is displayed on the lower right-hand portion of the picture. Old Faithful Geyser is on the left side. Because of magma filling the caldera, Yellowstone does not look like the typical volcano. If you happen to visit Yellowstone, you will definitely want to come and visit this visitor center. Every once in a great while, Yellowstone shows the unexpected. On July 23rd, 2024, at approximately 10 a.m., a dramatic hydrothermal explosion occurred at the Black Diamond Pool in Biscuit Basin, about 2 miles northwest of Old Faithful. The sudden event propelled a massive plume of steam, boiling waters, mud, and rock debris 400 to 600 feet into the air, as recorded in vivid on-site photographs and videos. Remarkably, no precursor signals ahead of ground deformation, seismic activity, or fluctuations were detected. At the moment of eruptions, tourists fled across the boardwalk in alarm, some even shouting things like, "Holy cow," as debris rained down. Luckily, no one was injured. The explosion destroyed a section of boardwalk surrounding Biscuit Basin and threw grape-sized rocks tens of hundreds of feet from the blast center. Close to the site, blocks measuring up to 3 feet across and weighing several hundred pounds were found. Geologists have concluded that this was a shallow hydrothermal event not linked to rising magma or volcanic arrest. Following the blast, the Park Service closed Biscuit Basin for the rest of the 24 season, and as of June of 2025, Biscuit Basin is still closed. We don't mean to downplay that sometime in the next 100,000 years, that Yellowstone will erupt. Whether there will be any Homo sapiens around to view the explosion is doubtful, given the current state of our destruction of this planet.